Want to escape the crowds in 2025? Whether you're a solo traveler like me, planning a family vacation, or just desperate to try somewhere new, in this video I'll be sharing 12 less touristy, underrated, hidden gem destinations for you to discover before everyone else does. From unspoiled Adriatic beaches to the wild Atlantic coast of Nova Scotia and the tropical rainforests of Ecuador, these must-see, underrated destinations have got everything you want for your next holiday, with the added bonus of far fewer people jostling to see the same attraction. And be sure to stick around till the end, because the top 3 are definitely going to surprise you. And if you love travel and discovering new places, then be sure to subscribe, because I've got some great new trips coming up in 2025 to share with you. So let's dive right in, starting with a hidden gem in Europe that I think you're gonna love. If you're tired of the crowds in Italy and Croatia but still want great weather, crystal clear beaches, rich history, and dramatic landscapes, then Montenegro could be your perfect destination. Its spectacular coastline is finally getting the attention it deserves. And even if the streets of Kotor and Budva are less of a secret these days, you can still find plenty of less crowded places. Head to the southern tip to Olsinj, a beautiful historic town with a dramatic hilltop location overlooking the Adriatic Sea and winding cobblestone streets that have escaped mass tourism. For adventure seekers, Durmitor National Park in the unspoilt north offers nearly 400 square kilometers of canyons, glacial lakes, and waterfalls. This tiny country packs a big punch when it comes to natural beauty, and nowhere more than the Bay of Kotor. Often called Europe's most southerly fjord, it's surrounded by rugged mountains plunging into crystal clear waters. Charming towns like Perast and the medieval town of Kotor, with its Venetian architecture and imposing medieval walls, add to the allure. And don't miss the jaw-dropping Ostrog monastery, nestled in a vertical cliff face high in the hills. Montenegro is a gem of Europe waiting to be discovered. Now, if you love this region of southern Europe, but are looking for somewhere even further off the beaten path, then this next destination could be the perfect option. Once totally isolated from the world, Albania is a secret waiting to be discovered. It definitely has more of an off-the-beaten-trail feel about it. But if you love what Croatia or Greece have to offer, but want to avoid the crowds and high prices, Albania is a perfect alternative. It may still be lacking in development, but you'll love Albania's unspoiled coastline, where you can enjoy crystal clear waters and pristine white sands without the throngs of tourists. I loved its quirky capital Tirana, where you can explore Cold War-era nuclear bunkers, and the well-preserved Ottoman towns like Gjirokaster and Berat, and the spectacular Albanian Alps, or the Accursed Mountains as they're called, which are amazing for hiking. The Theth Waterfall, Valbona Valley National Park, the Blue Eye, and the Kamani Lake with its Caribbean-like turquoise water are all amazing. 2025 is the perfect time to explore this beautiful country before it becomes the next big travel hotspot. Now, many of Canada's outdoor wonders are well known, like Banff, Niagara Falls, Whistler, and Vancouver. But this next maritime province is just as deserving of fame. Nova Scotians like to boast that their province is the friendliest place in Canada. And they might just be right, because you'll feel welcome the minute you step foot here. Nova Scotia doesn't see nearly as many tourists as the country's larger cities, making it a somewhat off-the-beaten-trail destination and much more affordable than other parts of Canada. And combined with over 100 beaches along its endless, rugged coastline, picturesque lighthouses, and fresh seafood, it's one of Canada's most underrated destinations. Beyond the capital city of Halifax, Nova Scotia is dotted with tiny fishing villages and coastal towns. Drive further north and you'll hit scenic Cape Breton Island, which comes alive with vivid fall foliage each year along its Cabot Trail. In short, Nova Scotia is a province perfect for road trips. Some of the best things to do in Nova Scotia include hiking the Skyline Trail in Cape Breton National Park, visiting Peggys Cove Lighthouse, one of the most photographed in the world, exploring Nova Scotia's capital city Halifax, including its waterfront and citadel, and driving the Cabot Trail on Cape Breton Island, one of North America's most spectacular ocean drives. Would it capture your interest if I told you there's an archipelago that few travelers know about, that's filled with the most incredible hiking trails, home to a friendly and colorful culture, surrounded by seas filled with whales and dolphins, and is unravaged by mass tourism? Well, then I need to tell you about the former Portuguese colony of Cabo Verde, a chain of 10 islands off the coast of Senegal. No two islands are the same, each offering wildly different experiences and vibes, from sweeping beaches of golden sand to active, climbable volcanoes, West Africa's best hiking, and a lively local music and art scene. Families will love the great beaches and resorts found on the popular island of Sal. Nearby Boa Vista couldn't be more different. Low-key and almost otherworldly, this is the island in the archipelago for those looking to escape, wander golden sands, and dream of pirates and shipwrecks. Santiago is by far the most populated island, and certainly has the liveliest feel, with the Cabo Verdean capital Praia dominating the south coast. And as the locals will tell you, you ain't seen Cabo Verde till you've seen Mindelo, a buzzing, almost European city on São Vicente that hugs a tight curve of seafront promenade, below jagged mountains rising straight out of the Atlantic. Now, if you're looking for the charm and sophistication of Scandinavian cities like Copenhagen or Bergen, but without the crowds, then often overlooked and tucked between the Nordic countries and Russia, you'll find 3 of Europe's hidden gems: the Baltic states of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. Just think all the natural beauty and culture of Scandinavia, but with costs around a third of what you'll find in the Nordics. I enjoyed traveling in Estonia, especially the vibrant and lively cities of Tallinn and Tartu, both rich in culture, history, and with a feel that combines Nordic and Baltic cultures. The brightly painted buildings reminded me a lot of Copenhagen or Stockholm, and I loved wandering the cobblestone streets of Tallinn's UNESCO World Heritage Old Town. Estonia's near neighbour Lithuania is also getting plenty of attention right now, appearing in Lonely Planet's 2025 Best in Travel list. While it remains one of Europe's most underrated destinations, there's never been a better time to explore its protected forests, lakes, and sandy dunes along the Baltic Sea. Green spaces cover 61% of its capital Vilnius, one of Europe's most fascinating cities, with unmissable attractions like the recently restored Sapieha Palace. And Soviet-era buildings dotted all over the city, making for an eerie reminder of the region's dark, recent past. There's still plenty more amazing places coming up to show you, but if you're dreaming about all the places in the world you want to see, interested in discovering new places and watching videos like this, and this, then why not subscribe and leave me a comment about your dream travel destinations? Now, if Central America appeals, and you want the beauty, natural diversity and culture of places like Costa Rica, but with less visitors and without the high prices, then this next country has it all. Costa Rica's next-door neighbor Nicaragua has long felt like a well-kept secret among surfers and nature lovers, and the sort of adventurers who gravitate toward rugged coastlines, tropical jungles, active volcanoes, and world-class waves. Known as the land of lakes and volcanoes, it's the largest country in Central America. Home to Lake Nicaragua, Central America's largest lake. Beautiful islands, expansive volcanic terrain, mangrove swamps, tropical rainforests, and an amazing Pacific coast. Nicaragua is a stunning destination with tons of things to see and do, no matter what your interest. It's strangely overlooked and kind of low-key amazing, especially if you're looking for somewhere relatively unspoiled. It's true that if you want to witness lots of wildlife like sloths or toucans, it's better in neighboring Costa Rica, which is famed for its highly developed ecotourism. But be prepared for travel costs at least 3 times what you'd spend in Nicaragua. Budget travel is a lot easier here. The travel distances are also very manageable, so you can go surfing, volcano boarding, jungle hiking, or stroll through colorful colonial towns all within a few hours' distance of each other. If you want the perfect relaxing vacation in the USA, they say the Midwest is quieter, less crowded, and friendlier than almost anywhere else. And one spot I discovered that's way under the radar is the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore along the shores of Lake Superior, Wisconsin. It's a collection of 21 islands that are only accessible by boat and 12 miles of mainland shoreline, packed with pristine beaches, picturesque sea caves, historic lighthouses, and more than 50 miles of hiking trails to explore. The Apostle Islands freshwater sea caves are astounding, and kayaking is one of the best ways to experience them. Most of them lie along the mainland shoreline, and you can kayak past, and even through, some of them. I'd also suggest taking the ferry ride from Bayfield to Madeline Island, the largest of the Apostles. The ferry drops you off in the town of La Pointe, where you'll find Big Bay State Park. Hike or bike around the island, or simply explore around La Pointe. Now, if exploring the Nordics and seeing the Northern Lights is on your bucket list, then you're going to love this next destination. While the crowds flock to the Norwegian fjords or Stockholm, Finland remains a fascinating, underrated country to visit among the Nordic countries. I've been to Finland twice and loved soaking up both the Nordic culture and quiet, pristine nature. It's a great place to see the dramatic aurora borealis, or Northern Lights as they're known, in a much less touristy environment than Iceland. I'd recommend Ivalo, where you can also try dog sledding, cross-country skiing, and watch reindeer races, all without large crowds of people. And if you really want to sample Nordic culture, try an outdoor smoke sauna. It's incredible. Helsinki is a fun city with great bars and restaurants, excellent fish, a world-class art museum, and fascinating architecture. The best time to go is in March or April, when you can still see the aurora and experience snow and winter, but without the bone-chilling cold or darkness. Or visit in summer and venture to the Lake Simea region, the largest lake region in Europe. Formed at the end of the last ice age, this blue wonder boasts lakes, islands, rivers, and canals set against gorgeous pine forests. It's perfect for nature enthusiasts, active families, anglers, and water sports enthusiasts. Want to know where you can find sapphire blue waters pierced by limestone cliffs? A cosmopolitan capital buzzing with restaurants, art galleries, and cool nightlife. And thousand-year-old rice fields carved into a mountain? Well, these treasures of the Philippines deserve a fresh look, particularly as it's still one of the most affordable places in Asia, and has a pro-tourism government that has made welcoming visitors a key piece of the nation's economic future. And if you ask me, the Philippines is the place to go for the best beaches in Southeast Asia. Besides having oodles of unspoiled coastline, it's also a culturally fascinating place, with its mix of Asian, Spanish, and US colonial influences. You'll also find spectacular rice terraces in the north and incredible nature with jungle and volcano treks. Many come to the Philippines to scuba dive or surf, but beyond the beaches and reefs, you'll find lush jungles, stunning volcanoes, and tropical pine forests in northern Luzon that are perfect for hiking and caving adventures. The Philippines has over 7,000 different islands, making it very geographically dispersed. Planning your route then can be a bit more of a puzzle, but that makes deciding where to go also quite a bit more fun. Into our top 3 then, and nestled between Greece and Romania, this next former Soviet state is another hidden gem of Europe that's still off the radar for most tourists. Bulgaria is one of Europe's best travel bargains right now, bursting with rich culture and history. Despite its potential to become a major tourist hotspot, it remains delightfully under-touristed even in high season. So if you're tired of the summer crowds in Western Europe, Bulgaria offers a refreshing escape. The Black Sea beaches are beautiful and way less crowded alternatives to the Mediterranean. Its capital city, Sofia, blends old and new with ancient churches, Ottoman mosques, and Soviet-era architecture. But a real hidden gem is the ancient city of Plovdiv, with a history spanning over 6,000 years. Stroll through its well-preserved Roman ruins, visit the colourful old town, and enjoy the lively food and art scene. The impeccably preserved ancient Roman theatre of Philippopolis stands proudly above the city. The views are spectacular. And there's so much more. The Rayla Monastery, nestled in the Rila Mountains, known for its stunning frescoes and serene surroundings. The mysterious rock formations of Belogradchik, perfect for hiking and photography, and the cascading Krishuna waterfalls. So if you've got a serious case of wanderlust and you're always on the lookout for the next big adventure, well, let me tell you about the most underrated travel destination I've been to in South America. From scuba diving in the Galapagos Islands, to high-peak mountain climbing in the Andes, to jungle adventures in the Amazon, and beach towns on the Pacific, Ecuador has it all. Nestled between Colombia and Peru on the Pacific side of South America, it's a gorgeous country, full of stunning landscapes, delicious food, plentiful mountains, and hospitable people. It's also home to the bucket list-worthy Galapagos Islands, one of the country's main draws, home to rare and iconic wildlife, and a wonder of the world. Go scuba diving, see giant tortoises, swim at beautiful beaches, and hike the Sierra Negra volcano. Adventure lovers will be keen to explore the Ecuadorian Amazon to see amazing waterfalls and explore the jungle. Or climb one of the country's many volcanoes, including the world-famous Cotopaxi mountain. And it's still fairly off the beaten track, so enjoy it while that lasts. Now, if taking an African wildlife safari is on your bucket list, then my final destination is really gonna surprise you. While everyone goes to safari in Kenya, South Africa, or maybe Tanzania, in comparison almost no one visits Uganda. And yet Uganda is less expensive, its national parks are amazing yet way undervisited. You can go gorilla trekking, and the people there are extremely friendly. Visit Kidepo National Park, where you can hear lions roaring at night and see cheetahs, giraffes, elephants, buffaloes, and more. Kidepo gets far fewer visitors than Uganda's other national parks, so you'll get the best authentic, up-close experience here. One of Uganda's most unique experiences is to go mountain gorilla trekking in Bwindi Impenetrable Forest or Megahinga National Park in southwestern Uganda. Another hidden gem is the Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary, one of the very few places in the world where you can track rare white rhinos in a sanctuary. Or take some time in your visit to relax in one of the resorts surrounding Lake Bunyoni, a magical blue lake that's one of the deepest in Africa. And if your wanderlust for the world's less touristy destinations still isn't satisfied, and you want to know the 12 most underrated places to visit in the USA, you're going to want to check out this video here next. With that said, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, or say hello in the comments if you made it this far. And I'll see you next time.